Joe Budden and Raekwon's beef wasn't any different. We have to fast forward to August 9th, 2009, when Joe Budden TV posted this video to his blog.
It wasn't my eye. It was like the side of my eye or some shit.
In the video, Joe can be seen icing up his face, which seemed to be swollen. According to him, Raekwon from Wu-Tang Clan, along with his goons, outnumbered Joe and tried to force him to apologize for some comments that he made about Method Man. When Joe refused to apologize, someone from Raekwon's crew snuck him, hitting him in the shoulder and the face, leaving Joe's face swollen. Now, if you're not familiar with this story, you're probably wondering what happened. Well, it all started earlier in the year when Vibe magazine put out a bracket trying to figure out who was the best hip-hop artist alive. Joe Budden didn't like his ranking on the list, and he gave his comments on it. Joe basically went down through the list of rappers and named which ones he thought he should be ranked higher than.
These niggas is whack on this list,
okay,
son.
Point out who you don't agree with the numbers you see.
I'm better than most of the niggas that on this list. This list is about rapping. MC Hammer is 17.
You agree with that?
No.
Juvenile at 8?
Juvenile, no. Project Pat, no. Too Short is 6.
Joe even claimed that he was better than at least 50 other rappers on the list and challenged any of them to prove him wrong.
So any of you niggas that's seeing this and have seen this and think that what I'm saying is wrong, I would love for you to prove it. Because I think I rap better than most of you niggas. Actually, I don't think, I'm sure of it.
During this rant, he also brought up Method Man, who was ranked number 9 on the list, and Joe basically said if they were face-to-face rapping, he would mop the floor with Method Man.
Love Method Man to death. He's number 9. You mean to tell me if Method Man was standing in front of my face right this second and we had to rap back and forth, that Method Man would be the victor against me?
Fans at the time were split, with some saying that Joe was correct and that he would wash Method Man, while others claimed Joe was wrong and that Method Man would absolutely dominate. They've been doing this shit for decades, and you guys fall for it. Like, these lists are deliberately made to farm engagement, get a rise out of people. That's why they do it. Either way, Method Man himself even responded saying Joe was straight disrespecting him, also saying he wants to see him face to face.
He can say that all he want. He can put whatever spin he want to put on it. That was straight disrespect, period. He ain't got no respect for me. Son need to up his dosage on his medication and come see me face to face.
He also went on to say that Joe Budden wouldn't have said any of this shit to his face, and he only felt comfortable because he was speaking into a camera phone.
But over a phone and all that, yeah, dudes talk greasy all day, but in a man's face, you ain't gonna say certain stuff like that. I would love for him to say or chop my head off face to face. I would love for him to say that.
With all that said, when Joe was asked about Method Man's comments, he only doubled down.
I'm saying, how you gonna say no disrespect to Method Man and say that dumb shit? I rap better than niggas.
Given the fact that Wu-Tang is a tight-knit group, it was Inspector Deck who decided to go at Joe Budden with a full-length diss track.
Man, really, name me 3 Joe Budden songs. Don't worry, I got time, I'll cut the song.
He then went into a Jeopardy skit where the question was, name 3 Joe Budden songs.
Oh man, 3 Joe Budden songs. Pump it up.
Joe claimed years later that he did have a record in the stash that he didn't put out, which for Joe Budden was highly unusual. Not sure why he didn't drop it.
So how many discs you got just in the tuck?
I wrote a long letter to Inspector Deck that just never went out.
I'm so glad that didn't happen.
Me too, but it was masterful.
As we all know, hip-hop is a pretty tight-knit world, and even tighter when you're both repping the same coast. So it was only a matter of time before these two crossed paths. And that moment would come in Long Island, New York. According to Method Man, someone told him that Joe Budden wanted to talk, and at that point, Meth admitted himself he was ready to smack Joe on the spot, but ultimately decided to hold back and not let things get physical.
Joe, you don't know this. The whole time you was talking, I was gonna snuff you. The reason why I didn't in that moment was because you said some real shit.
Allegedly, Method Man explained to Joe that they were now good, but if Joe continued to act out of pocket, everything was out of his hands.
But I'm telling you, after this moment, if there's any more bullshit, my hands is tied.
Despite Method Man thinking that they had cleared things up with that conversation, Joe continued to take shots, still speaking negatively about Wu-Tang, which only reignited the tension. It was on that exact same day where Joe did an interview where he dissed Inspector Deck. In the interview, Joe basically said that Inspector Deck is washed. He called him washed pretty much. However, the whole thing would really bubble over at the Rock the Bells Hip Hop Festival in LA. Set to perform that day was Nas, The Roots, Common, plus a bunch of other rappers and rap groups, including Slaughterhouse, which Joe was a part of. Little did he know, this was gonna turn out bad for him. Joe was backstage in his dressing room chilling with Mickey Fax when out of nowhere, Raekwon and a crew of about 6 men stormed in. They demanded that Joe apologize for his comments about Wu-Tang, and when he refused, Hans, a member of Raekwon's entourage, sucker punched Joe, catching him completely off guard. Then the very next day, Joe posted this blog.
It wasn't my eye. It was like the side of my eye or some shit.
Then a little later, we got Raekwon's side of the story.
It was masterminded. You know what I mean? He was off. Sometimes you could be off. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna get into the graphics about how he was. He know how he was.
Okay. Other than that, Raekwon hasn't really said much about this incident, and anytime he's asked about it, he downplays it. There are a few different versions of what happened, including one from the man who actually punched Joe himself, Hans.
You could have dropped Joe Buttons off in my projects from a helicopter and somebody would have got him for talking about meth, Ray, or debt.
Okay.
When asked if it was a sucker punch that he threw at Joe, Hans said that he didn't think so.
Some also would describe this punch as a sucker punch. Was this a sucker punch?
I don't think it was a sucker punch.
How is that not a sucker punch? You're mid-conversation, talking to a bunch of people, and then one dude just clocks you? That's a sucker punch. Then we got Mickey Fax, who was with Joe Budden at the time, and he claimed when Raekwon and his guys walked in, they were very calm, talking to Joe, basically asking him to apologize. And when Joe told him that he already apologized to Method Man directly and didn't feel like he should have to do it again, that's when he heard a loud thud.
Next thing you know, that's all, you hear a thud. It was like a thud. And it was like a doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
And this footage does appear to be real, because when Joe Budden was beefing with Gilly the Kid, which I got a great video on that, by the way, Gilly claimed to have seen the footage.
I seen the tape. Now you keep talking shit, nigga. In the next episode, I'm putting it the fuck out. A nigga punched you in your fucking face. You fell on the floor and screamed, "My eye! My eye!"
After everything went down, Joe Budden claimed that Raekwon's camp reached out and tried to squash the beef, but at that point, Joe said it was too late.
Niggas from that camp over there, from at Raekwon Ice Waters camp, wanted to know what they could do to resolve this situation. And there's really no resolving the situation because I got hit in the face.
Raekwon was allegedly running his mouth about the whole thing, and Joe said the only way to solve it was to square up and have a fair fight.
That this whole situation can go away with a square dance. Square dance is when two niggas square up. It's a square off. Nobody got to know. You take a little walk around the corner, you go lock yourself in a room, and just whoever comes out, right?
According to Joe, Raekwon didn't want to square up with him and was basically ducking the fight.
Nigga told us that he ain't want a square dance. He ain't had a square dance in 30 years.
Raekwon responded to these comments during an interview with Charlemagne, where he said enough is enough, expressing that he wanted to move past it and focus on his family and work. Eventually, Method Man and Joe did patch things up, officially putting an end to the beef.